Previously on Talk That Talk.
So I think it's who's in front of the students, right? Like I'm gonna give you a prime example, and I'm gonna be absolutely upfront and honest about this. When I saw that Mr. Simmons got that job at Texas Southern, I did not know what to expect, and it's for two specific reasons. A, he's a young man. He's a young man. He's been a band director for a couple of years now, but his experience is, he's young. And then the other thing was, TSU was in a rebuild, man. They were trying to really take that band to the next level. So I wanted to give that brother every, benefit of the doubt because I knew he was going to be dealing with some challenges. But I got to say, man, he made that band better instantly. You can say whatever you want. That brother did his job and he did it at a high level. And I think so often than not, man, you look at like people will look at young people and be like, man, why they hire that young dude? He went in there and changed that band around instantly. And you got some older dudes that took over some band programs. We ain't gonna mention their names, but some older dudes that's been in the game 40 years that took over some band programs and the bands got worse. I'm sitting there like that young brother went in there. He was able to turn this band around instantly. He has the talent to do what we do, man. So I think at the end of the day, it's all about the visionary that's in front of the band. Now, I think this question is looking more so from the fact that this person might not know about the culture that they're getting into. I had absolutely no idea what the PV culture is. My first day on PV's campus, Quan, I pulled up in my truck. I got out my truck and the bass drums were under that tree right there to the left when you're going in the side entrance, right where that rail is. The bass drums were right there. So I'm walking up the sidewalk and getting ready to go up that ramp, and the bass drums were out there, Quan, trying to break the drum head. They were hitting them bass drums so hard, and I heard a vet tell them, "You gotta blow that. You gotta bust that hole. Hit it!" Like they were hitting them like Quan. They were coming back holding the stick like this. There was no technique, no fulcrum whatsoever. They had the full grip on the stick, and they were literally like laying into those bass drums. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Quan. I thought they knew it was me and they were playing a trick on me. I thought I was getting Ashton Kutcher punked. I swear, I thought I was getting punked, man, because they were playing that way. And I'm sitting there like, oh, this ain't MD. That was my first thing. Oh, you don't gotta like Quan. I don't care.
But, hey, before you keep going with that story, I did tell y'all up front. We sat down at the restaurant and I gave y'all the skinny before everything went down. Dog.
And that Chacho's. I remember that Chacho. I mean that Chacho. What was the name? Well, Ruchis. That Mexico. It was trash, by the way, Julian.
Yeah, when I go back and think about it, it was pretty fun.
Yes, yeah. But Julian, the night before, Julian was like, Rick, this is not the band that you are accustomed to. And I thought they were playing a joke on me because of how they were laying into those drums. But as I got to know the students and stuff, man, and really incorporate some of the things, like talking about fulcrum and stuff like that, and actual technique, man, and different methods of playing the drums and stuff like that some students had never even heard of before. We were able to grow, man, and the growth from PV from 12 to 16, man. I had to learn the culture myself, and then in turn, under Dr. Zachary's leadership, really helped turn that man around. So I think that at the end of the day, as a new director coming into a situation, you need to study just as much as you want your students to study. You need to be getting with alumni and learning the traditions that are good for the program. You need to be researching by directors that came before and not talking trash about those directors to the students, because we have some of that mess as well. But understanding the culture that you're going into and respecting it, keeping the parts that work, and maybe altering some of the parts that don't. So I think at the end of the day, it's about the visionary that's in front of the band, and then staying the course with what you know is right. If you're, a legit visionary, and these schools hiring the right people to take over these jobs. There's no such thing as a bad band, only bad band director.